Gen Z is a generation known for being lazy, unemployed, and being furries. You guys are watching Covenant Garage. I'm your host, Isaac Snook, and today we are talking about why Gen Z is killing, no, murdering car culture. To really understand Gen Z, we have to understand all the other generations and how they relate to car culture. When you grow up, you tend to fall in love with the cars that you grew up with. Cars for the boomers were 60s muscle cars. The cars for millennials were 8.5 liter V8s that only made 150 horsepower. And for millennials, you had Priuses and Catfish Camaros. But Gen Z was the first generation completely immersed with technology since they were wee infants. That has created a melting pot for car culture and a massive amount of enthusiasm. We've had movies like the entire Fast and the Furious franchise, all 3 Cars movies, Transformers, Tron, the list could go on forever. And these movies and TV shows have contributed massively to my generation and our love for cars. So much so that we started hyping up all of the cool tuner cars that millennials, boomers, and Gen X had all longed for so long, and made their prices worth way more than they should be worth. I'm sorry, but your Nissan 240SX with a running and driving engine and transmission is not worth $20K no matter how nice it is. I do not care. It's not a $20,000 car. Maybe when it was brand new, when it first came out, but not anymore. And I don't know why people insist on paying over MSRP for a car that is now like over 20 years old. But moving on, my generation hyped up all of these cool once entry-level sports cars and left us with very few options. We had the new Edge Mustang. A lot of times the V6 is all that people like myself could afford. Luckily, I did not buy a V6. I bought a Z51 C5 Corvette, and it's absolutely wild. Or they bought VQs or Miatas that were clapped out automatic and had 200,000 miles and rust going on every single panel. However, this love for car culture should still have been encouraging to automotive businesses and aftermarket companies, right? No, because my generation invented 2 words: hard and tough. And with the birth of TikTok, these 2 words began to describe all teenage builds. Yeah, bro, check out my build. It's so hard, bro. I'm sliding this. It's so clean, bruh. Check it out, bro. My build, cuh. You ain't on my level, cuh. This build's so clean, fool. And in reality, it's a clapped G with stanced reps with a cold air filter. Not even a cold air intake, a cold air filter. Because our generation is too freaking poor to buy real cars and have the financial discipline of a toddler. And instead, we get ourselves addicted to nicotine-flavored air. And so we can't afford proper car parts or proper cars. So these guys get a downpipe and a tune, and they think that their car makes 1,000 wheel horsepower. If they're lucky, they might even buy a $300 eBay turbo, and then they have a SEMA build. But in reality, we all know that this is just bull crap, and it does not mean their car is a build, and it's tarnishing the reputation of car culture. But more than that, they started publicizing their social media of taking these cars and doing left-hand turns and losing control in a circular fashion. They happen to call this drifting or doing donuts. Personally, losing control in a circular fashion is not the same as drifting or doing donuts. They are very, very, very different, okay? I'm not claiming to be a drift king. I am not a drift king. However, neither is my generation. I am very sorry for the way we have represented ourselves online. We play cringe TikTok songs over our clapped G's and VQs and then expect everyone else to think that our build is dope and respect all builds, when in reality that is not the case. However, for a while, this was okay. It didn't really matter. They were just kids being kids. Then these kids got a little older and they found out it was something called car meets. So now you have these 18, 19, 20-year-olds coming in their clapped VQs and new Edge Mustangs and pulling up to car meets that are professionally organized by people trying to raise money for a good charity. But they pull up and they shut down the meet by revving their motors until they either explode or get the cops called on them. They do donuts, and a lot of times they crash into other people's property, so no one even wants to come to the car meets because they're not safe, and it puts their babies in danger. So poor Caillou is gonna have to pay for his own cancer treatment with a single mom's salary. In reality, Caillou's gonna die, and my generation is responsible for this. Excuse the wind. I am trying to film outside today, and it's a lovely day. I've got a lovely car and a lovely truck, and I just want to film outside because I think it's a lovely day to do it. It's got like a professional setup. We got a nice microphone. Anyways, regardless of all of that, my generation is tarnishing the reputation of the car industry because now we have cops coming down on our car meets, shutting it down before anything even happens. So now real car enthusiasts like myself cannot even enjoy the meets. And I know I'm frustrated, but this is my own generation. The boomers and millennials and Gen X's are furious, and rightfully so. And they're taking away our passion and making it into something that we can no longer enjoy anymore. People are actually not enjoying the car scene as much and going to car shows less and less. Here in my hometown, they shut down Cars and Coffee for good because of people like this doing shenanigans and ruining it for everybody else. Until people start realizing that a clapped VQ or Miata is not a build, it is in fact just a crap box from Japan, then we will continue this cycle. And on top of all of that, financial burdens are weighing upon companies like BBS Wheels, who went bankrupt, and Fitment Industries, the largest aftermarket parts supplier in the car industry, is now seeing stagnant profits. And if you're in business, especially in this inflation, you know that being stagnant means you are dying. And Hamilton has said himself, he hasn't raised his prices by an unfair rate. He's just raised them to meet inflation, and he's still charging a lower price than a lot of other people. But people don't have the money or luxury for these wheels, so they buy reps and stance them in the worst, most ungodly ways possible, and they still call it a build. Let me know if you guys think that my take is unhinged, but in reality, I really just think that we need to fix car culture as it stands right now. So if you guys want to team up, make sure you subscribe. We are actually going to do a burnout that is costing me $1,000 on this Corvette. I've actually already filmed it, and if you guys want to see how a burnout cost me $1,000 on this car, then make sure you subscribe so you can see it in the upcoming videos. Also, real quick, before I let you go, this Corvette behind me has 200,000 miles. I got it for $9,000, and we're turning it into a $30,000 kit car. And that's not even the cost to build it. That's just the cost to buy the kit car. And if I don't get it in less than 10 months, when I'm 20, then I'm gonna make myself go homeless. And I'm also gonna make myself go homeless if I don't have 5,000 YouTube subscribers by that same amount of time. So help your boy out, unless you wanna see me on the streets, then that's totally valid too. But if you're gonna make me go on the streets, at least watch the videos. Thank you for watching Coming to Garage. This is why Gen Z is ruining car culture. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. And always stay blessed.